How to write fake papers using AI. New research from MIT Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, (SCIgen), suggests that synthesizing high-quality fake scientific papers may be easier than previously believed. Using deep learning, researchers from the lab created a system that is strong enough to fool human reviewers and even fool professional journals, as demonstrated by a paper that was accepted to a conference with nearly perfect scores and a well-known academic journal's editorial staff. The system uses deep learning, a type of machine learning that uses data to train a model and a statistical model to identify whether the results in a paper are real or fabricated. SCIgen, as it's called, works by using machine learning to mimic the behavior of a human reviewer by gathering a large number of training examples of scientific articles in a variety of domains. These training examples include sentences, paragraphs, and graphs, along with references to relevant literature. For example, the system could observe that an article describing the study of the effects of gender and ethnicity on adolescent development cites several studies that support its conclusions but ignores those that don't. The machine learning model then produces a statistically valid prediction that human reviewers will accept as legitimate. The system is the first time that synthetic peer review has been demonstrated to be able to fool a computer, and researchers say it could also have a wide impact in the field. In other words, the system could be applied to fake scientific papers even after a reviewer vets the content and finds the paper not worth publishing, said lead author Oren Etzani, an associate professor at MIT SCIgen and the Wharton School's Elliott School. The system isn't perfect, but Etzani said it shows that deep learning can be applied to synthesize scientific papers with minimal human oversight. This paper is an incredibly important step forward in understanding the potential for such synthetications, Etzani said. I believe this opens the floodgates to much larger challenges down the line as journals develop more sophisticated processes to vet submissions. How to detect fake papers like this one. The short version, pay attention. A group of 40 researchers from 7 teams at Facebook AI Research and possibly Facebook as a whole have published a paper in the Science Desk describing how they successfully leveraged machine learning to spot a fake scientific paper. Filling in the blanks, they didn't fake the paper itself. Mind you, the problem lies in how they built and tested their model. The researchers used OpenAI language modeling tool LAMBADA to read the abstracts of nearly 500 science papers and discovered that about 70% were created using computer science jargon and about 10% were synthetic. The rest were either conceptual papers submitted by academics or cross-referenced with other papers in the scientific literature. The only commonality among the synthetic papers was that the researchers used the languages of the predatory journals to describe their OpenAI language modeling tool LAMBADA. Image: OpenAI credible papers. To help weed out the real threat, the researchers created a set of tasks that require researchers to have an understanding of the world and common sense about what constitutes legitimate research. To carry out the analysis, they first read each abstract in turn to check for grammatical errors, and then analyzed each paper citation chain to check for references to known or previously identified research papers. The researchers were able to spot about 70% of the synthetic papers, but only if researchers paid close attention to what's being discussed in the literature. To make sure this didn't happen, the researchers also blocked known predatory journals from being included in the analysis, and rerun the analysis with only those papers that had been explicitly labeled as predatory by the academics who wrote the paper. As it turned out, even a modest investment in expertise can be enough to spot these papers. Related story: why a woman begged Facebook to take down her abusive extraction